Make Your Mark in the Workplace: How to Build Your Personal Brand by James Espey Obe. Narrated by Andrew Cullum. Foreword. What drove my entrepreneurial spirit? I was born in Livingstone, Zambia in 1943, back when it was known as Northern Rhodesia. My paternal grandfather was an Irishman who had emigrated to South Africa and who joined the South African Infantry in 1915 and fought in France. He survived Delville Wood and Passchendaele, but was killed by a sniper in 1918, leaving my father and his brother to be raised by their widowed mother in Cape Town. My grandfather's death shaped my father's upbringing and, consequently, my own, which made my visit to his grave on the centenary of his death quite poignant and emotional. My maternal grandfather was an Australian who had fought in the Boer War and ended up staying in Northern Rhodesia. Unfortunately, he died before my mother was born, and my granny not too long after that. My mother was brought up by her grandfather, my great-grandfather Powell. Great-grandfather Powell was postmaster of the Rondebosch post office and got to know Cecil Rhodes, the Prime Minister of the Cape Colony. When Rhodes died, Powell was a pallbearer at his funeral and carried the wreath sent by Queen Alexandra, which was a great honour. Rhodes commissioned my great-grandfather to open up the telegraphy from Cape Town to Bulawayo in southern Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe. The family made the trip there first by train, then coach and horses, and finally by ox wagon. Once there, Powell became the first Rhodesian postmaster. He later became the secretary of the Cleveland Bridge Company and was involved in building the Victoria Falls Bridge. They initially lived in huts by the side of the Zambezi, with curious hyenas for neighbours, but they persevered, and in 1904 they owned the first house in Livingstone with a tin roof. So, as you can see, hard work and perseverance is in my blood. My father had to leave school early for financial reasons, and he became a police officer in Northern Rhodesia. When he was 31, he clip-clopped into town on his horse, met my mother, then 19, and married her in 1942. I was born the next year, and my brother followed soon after. Like my parents before me, I had an emotionally deprived childhood. My parents divorced in 1949 when I was 6 and my brother 5, and that was the last time I ever lived at home. My brother and I were sent to boarding school 2000.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?